Hello, Soccer 605 fans. Randy McKee here, and I'm in the bleachers with Coach Jim Launder. Thanks a lot, Jim, for being with us today.
You're welcome, Randy. Always a pleasure.
You know, if you folks out there don't know this guy yet, I don't know if there's any coaching job you haven't had in the world of soccer.
Well, there's a few jobs I haven't had, but types of jobs, maybe not.
Yeah, I know you've been. You were here a long time before I started to come into ODP 15 years ago, and you know now you're the director of the Wisconsin Youth, coaching director, and also the head of coaching for the Madison 56ers.
Correct.
And you're here looking at players at the Region II ODP Showcase.
Yeah, I'm still helping with ODP in any way I can. Ian Barker, the head regional coach for boys, used to be my assistant. And Mike Dickey, the head regional coach for girls, I've worked with for many years in coaching education, coached against them in the old A-League, and who knows what.
You know, you've really had a couple positions over the years where you know, like bringing colleges along and taking them to, you know, you had Wisconsin, I guess, for a while and brought them up to the top level. And, you know, what are some of the changes that you've seen over the years in being able to run a college program effectively?
Well, in college, a good part of it is recruiting, you know, and when I first started, we didn't have scholarships, so recruiting was like, hey, you want to come here? You know, it was a whole different deal. And when I was done at Wisconsin, we got scholarships, we won a national championship, and we were able to recruit a whole different level of player at that stage. It just changed a lot of things. You had to change with it. And then after I left there, I went to Dayton, and we had less scholarships there, but a more kind of a homier atmosphere, and that changed things too. I think it just keeps continuing to change. You know, I mean, what I got paid when I won a national championship at Wisconsin, the third assistants would laugh at small programs now. So it's a whole different can of worms.
Well, we both know a guy that's happy about that deal. You know, as a matter of fact, I just got a call from Connor. He is on his way over this afternoon, so he's going to take a look at some players here today. So, you know, this morning I watched a girls game, a 98 girls game, and this team from Ohio North was so incredibly technical. I just couldn't hardly believe my eyes.
And well, I think that players have gotten much more technical through the years, and I'm not sure we've developed more superstars at the top level, but we've developed more Class B players, you know, or if you say a superstar is a Class A player, we've developed a lot more very good players. Yeah. And I think that's what we've been doing for the last several years.
I remember it's been quite a few years ago now, when you were head coach for Region 2 boys, you had all the kids together one afternoon and in the auditorium, and you'd put together a video reel of finishing. And I'll never forget this till I go to my grave. You said, you know, the player that is born to finish is almost like a Pavlovian dog. You see that opportunity and you just start to drool.
Yeah, I can imagine myself saying that. I don't remember it exactly, but I remember the films, and I remember it finishing, so to speak, with Brian McBride putting away a goal against Portugal, and Tony Sana, two Region 2 guys that had been here, supplying the assist. And I thought that was a good way to end that afternoon's work, you know?
I remember when you guys first brought Beasley into camp, you know, how he was so much better than his own age group. I think you put him up a year right away, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't so much that he was better. It was that age group was going to play in a really well-publicized tournament, and he was an unknown guy, and I wanted him to get an opportunity to go with the U17 team. And I knew that this would, at least he would be seen there, you know. And I put he and another guy named Paul Dolinsky in there, and they both shined very, very brightly in that environment.
You know, you also, you know, another current team player, you know, who showed up here as a forward, and all of a sudden he turned into a goalkeeper.
Let's see. Showed up here. You're talking about in the he's playing in the pros now?
Well, yeah, he's playing. He's our backup U.S. national team.
Actually, he started. He was a holding midfielder, for Magic Soccer Club for years, but he played in the goal like part-time all along, because I used to go down. I was good friends with the head coach from Magic, and I used to go down and train him sometimes in the goal to keep him sharp, because we knew at the regional level that's where we wanted him.
Yeah.
And then he went to Brazil, and he was in the goal, and he saw how skillful players the Brazilian goalkeepers were, and then I think that was kind of like his deciding point when he said, "Hey, I want to be a goalkeeper full-time now."
Well, and by golly, he turned out to be one too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still got a ways to go, and he's gonna be better. I mean, as good as he is now playing professionally, he's gonna be even better.
Yeah. Well, he's getting a lot of work at the top level in the world. So, I mean, he's gonna have that opportunity. Do you? I mean, you know a lot of guys who've gone through the national team system, and I suppose you every once in a while get a chance to run into one or two of them here or there.
Oh, it was really, I mean, through the years, you see guys like I had Brian Mazonoff and Brian McBride that both were in the program here, and Tony Sana. I got a chance to coach all of them in the pros at different times. Brian and Tony a little bit in Milwaukee, Brian back in Columbus, Mays back in Columbus, you know, so it comes around full circle, and you never know. I mean, an interesting story with Brian. He was playing in Everton for on loan, and with the Columbus Crew guys, I was doing yoga. The coach had asked me to do yoga with them, and they were all like, "Oh yeah, yoga, poo-poo," you know. And we did it for a couple weeks, and I was about ready to tell the head coach, "Hey, Greg, I don't know if they're getting anything out of it because they don't really want to do it." And so Brian came back, and we were doing it, and his forms were perfect. And I said, "Brian, you're really good." And he says, "Ought to be. I do it 3-4 times a week at Everton." And as soon as he said that, everybody popped up, and they were doing everything proper, and it all changed. And it's amazing the effect that guys have on other guys.
Yeah, you know, and you know, that just went all the way through his level of professionalism, everything he did, you know.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, I'll tell you, what a player. Well, you know, one of the things that we're hoping we'll be seeing here is having a lot of younger coaches who are taking a look at somebody who's been around for a long, long time. And, you know, do you have any advice for these guys who really want to get better, faster?
Well, I try and help young guys any way I can. I teach in national coaching courses as well. I just finished a B course not long ago, and I've seen 2 guys here already that just took it, and they're like, "Oh, coach, you know, it's really good to see you," and they really enjoyed it. And I think that young coaches really enjoy working with somebody that has more experience, and they may think they're better than you right at the moment, but they still enjoy working with somebody with more experience, you know. Yeah. And so that's something I enjoy doing as well.
What do you think about the current trend and you know, what Coach Klinsmann is bringing to the men's national team and trying to instill in the underage men's teams about getting players forward, being more technical, being more clever? What do you think that's going to lead to for our system? Yeah,
I think he wants people more technical, but in a way, you know, if you watch a German team, they don't really. I think we maybe try to emulate like Spain, but I think we're much more capable of emulating how the Germans do it, which is not ticky-tacky technical. It's fast, quick. Still use your athleticism, technical. You know, and I like what he's doing. I think I hope we can carry through long enough. Sometimes you have to do something for a while before you can see the real fruits of your labor. And I hope with this one we don't quit too early.
Well, you know, one thing about it, and you know, Coach Bradley was very much this way too. He's looking at a lot of players and giving a lot of players a chance to show what they can do. And I think, you know, especially taking a look at some of the younger guys he's bringing up, that's he's really looking to the future.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the warm-up match they had just yesterday against Guatemala for the Copa de Oro, the team had one player that had played in the last 2 qualifiers, and that was Beasley.
Yeah.
They made him the captain, and you know, that's an amazing, when you think of having that many quality players to be able to do that and just smoked Guatemala.
Oh yeah,
you know, so
made a fool out of them almost in several aspects of the game.
Remember you said that, not me. In case there's anybody from Guatemala around.
Yeah, please don't get me wrong here. I am a proud American soccer fan. So, speaking of Beasley, I kind of like him at left back. What do you think?
Yeah, he's played left back before. Everybody thinks he hasn't, but he played it several times in the past. We've always been looking for a left back. Back even when I mentioned that goal against Portugal in that World Cup, Frankie Hayek, an out-and-out right footer, played left back for us, you know, and we just have struggled to find one. And then for a while, Beasley played left back, and he didn't like it so much. I think now he's just happy to be back, and he'll play wherever you ask him. You know?
Well, and he still has good pace, you know.
Yeah, and he can turn on the pace. He may have a struggle when he gets against big, strong guys, but we'll see, you know.
Yeah, he seems to be playing a little tougher now. I mean, he does it. It always seemed like he went down pretty easy when he was playing on the wing, but I think he tries to keep his feet a little more in the back.
Yeah, I think so. I think he had, like when he was with the Fire, and he had Stoichkov supplying him on that left wing. Well, he could dance and then go down, and he was the kid, and everybody, poor kid got whacked. Let's give him a foul, Now he's older. He's playing in the back. You can't afford to go down. If the ref doesn't call it, you're in trouble,
Yeah, that's true. Well, what's next for Coach Launder?
I've got to go scout a game in a few minutes. I've got a game with my club team, the NPSL team, tomorrow afternoon, and we have to win it if we have any chance of going on in the league. And then it's go back and teach a D course and then a C course back in Wisconsin. So
there's no rest for the wicked, Coach. No rest for the wicked.
And not even for a great guy like me.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for being with us. I can't wait to catch up with you again next year.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Randy.
Take care.
Take care.